This is a 2014 Honda Accord Sport that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace for only $2,800. But this car needs work. So on this video, I'm gonna show you everything we're gonna go through to get this car mechanically ready. We're gonna have to paint some parts on this thing. And most importantly, we're gonna make a huge profit. I'm gonna show you step by step, give you the full process so you can do this yourself. Let's get into the video. So the vehicle was located about an hour and a half away from my house, threw it on a trailer and hurried up and got it home because I couldn't wait to take this thing apart to see what was going on. Man, we got this car home. Let's get into it and see what's wrong with it. Now, when I found this car on Facebook Marketplace, the seller told me that the car was not running correctly and it's not shifting gears correctly. She told me that it seems to be stuck in first gear. So I said, I'll come check it out. Before we talk about the mechanics, let me show you what's wrong with it cosmetically. So coming along to this side of the car, you can see that this fender is pretty shot. You can see we have a bit of a dent right here, also a bit of a dent right here. So we might be able to fix this fender or we might need a new one. And on this fender right here, there's a bit of a dent. See, we have a tiny dent right here that can be pulled out, and this bumper pops out a little bit. I'm assuming because on this side it got tapped a little bit, so it might have popped out the other side. Coming along to this side of the car, we are missing a little cap that goes over the keyhole. I'm not sure if there was something going on over here, but there's a bit of tape, but we could replace that. This side of the car looks really good, not bad at all. But when we come around to this side of the car, over here, you can see we have a cracked bumper and also a cracked spoiler right here that they tried to tape up. And we also have a cracked light that we would need to replace. Also, our rear bumper is peeling a lot. You can see that the paint is basically cracking. Looks like it's just chipping off. You can see that, the paint just comes right off. But other than that, the outside of the car looks really good. Let's check out the inside. You can see our seats look really good. No rips and tears, just a little bit of staining. Same thing in the back, a little dirty, nothing crazy, no rips, no stains. Let's take a look at what's going on mechanically. Now you can see we only have 156,000 miles, but the dashboard is lit up like a Christmas tree. Check it out. Now you see we have the ABS light on, the brake light on, the traction light on, the steering wheel light on, the check engine light on, and we also have a few codes. Let's scan this thing. Now, as I said before, the car doesn't leave first gear to second gear, and the RPMs are very high. Now, when the seller told me that, I went online, did my research, and I was wondering, can it really be the transmission that's the problem? So I said, you know what? I'll go and scan the car. Okay, let's read our codes, stored codes. So we have a crankshaft position sensor, which is a P0339. And then we have a lost communication with instrument cluster. This happened when I plugged in the scanner but didn't turn the key. This code popped up, so you can disregard that. Then we have a P0420, which is our system efficiency below threshold bank 1. Now, based off my research with this crankshaft position sensor, this could actually be causing the car to act the way it's acting. It might not even be the transmission. So the symptoms of a bad crankshaft position sensor is the car not starting, very high RPMs, stalling, and that's exactly what this car is doing. Now, here's the thing. I'm actually taking a gamble here because I could replace that sensor and the car could possibly run really, really good after that. We're still taking a gamble because just because that sensor code is up, there could be a problem with the timing as well. Now, it is a circuit code, meaning that it could be a problem with the wiring on that sensor, but we're gonna have to get to the bottom of it, and hopefully we scored. Now, as for this car being lit up like a Christmas tree with the brake light, traction light, and all of those other lights, what I know from my experience that could just be a wheel sensor, it could be a brake caliper, a speed sensor, and believe it or not, it could be a bad battery that's low in voltage that would set those same lights off. It could also be our ABS module. But anyway, the first thing we have to do is get this car running correctly. So I picked speed sensor on my way home. Let's see if we can get this thing to shift correctly and drive correctly. Let's get under here and see what we got. Under the car looks really good, not rusted out at all. So it looks like our position sensor is right here, located behind this plate. So we got to remove this plate to get to the sensor. So removing this sensor is quite easy. It's not in a bad location. I did check the wire because it was a circuit code. Usually when there's a circuit code, that means there's a bad wire, and that's where our sensor is located. I matched it with the new one to make sure that they were the same before I put it in. And we went ahead and popped it in and screwed everything back together. Okay, we got our sensor done. Let's clear the codes and start her up. Erase codes, erase, it's done. Start it up. Let's give it a test drive and see what happens. Okay, we're pushing on the gas. Riding pretty smooth so far. You can see our RPMs are pretty good. Doing about 40. That didn't work, guys. It started doing it again. As soon as I pulled up here, it started high revving again. But I have another idea. It started to like bog down. Now, before I cleared that code, we had the P0420, which is the catalytic converter code. So honestly, what I'm starting to think is that we have a bad converter. It might just be clogged. I'm thinking we might need to do some tests to see if this thing is clogged or not. I'm almost sure that that could be the problem. And also, when I was driving the car, I was hearing some kind of rattling under the car. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna put the camera under there so we can both see what that was. So we got our car back in the air, and what it's looking like is we have a massive hole right here in our flex pipe. It's disconnected, so every time we press the gas and we drive, whole flex pipe goes back and moves this rear catalytic converter backwards. There's a massive hole like this. We're losing so much back pressure in the engine, so the car isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, we got a bit of rain today, so we got our new cat in the mail. So I'm going to go ahead and probably just going to use the flex pipe. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the aftermarket catalytic converter because I really don't trust those things, but the whole cat and the flex pipe was cheap, so I figured why not get the whole thing, because you couldn't just buy the flex pipe for this car. So we're going to go with the flex pipe. We're going to go get this put on by the muffler shop right now. Let's go. Now, when I was at the muffler shop, I asked the muffler guy to go ahead and check the bottom catalytic converter. And to my surprise, just like I thought, we had something going on with the car. I did pay him 60 bucks to put this in. Now, let me explain a little bit more after we test drive the car. So let's go ahead and hit this straightaway, see if we get some power. All right, let's see if we can get over that 40, 50, 60. Oh, yeah. Got some power, guys. Okay, so we got our car back home. We did purchase a new cat, and I'm going to tell you why. The catalytic converter at the bottom, there was nothing wrong with it. What you saw was the inside of this cat broke down and went through the pipe, past the flex pipe, and into the other catalytic converter. So it was basically clogging that one up. That's why you saw all of those chunks. All of those chunks were from this cat. Therefore, I purchased a new cat. We didn't have to change the other one, so I bought a brand new one for the top because it's broken down in the inside. The other one was fine. We changed out the flex pipe, and now we got a new cat for the top. So we're gonna change this one out. Let's get started. Okay, so we have 3 bolts under here, and we have a few at the top, and we can take it out. So removing this cat wasn't that bad. Honda makes it so easy to work on their cars. And I just can't believe what I saw when we went to the muffler shop. I mean, I couldn't believe that all of the inside of this cat was inside of the other cat. I'm thinking that's what really made the flex pipe burst like that. It was just too much back pressure. So we removed our oxygen sensor. We had about 4 bolts over here we had to remove, and we had the 2 at the bottom that we took out at the beginning. Fairly simple, fairly easy, and pretty straightforward. Check out the inside of this cat. Okay, so we got our converter off, and when you look down here, I'm not sure if you guys can see down there, there's no honeycomb in here. Usually it has like a honeycomb in there. There's nothing in there at all, guys. It's like as if somebody took everything out. It's just hollow. So putting this thing back together was pretty straightforward, the same way we took it out. The bolts at the bottom, the bolts at the top. We also added new gaskets to our new converter. I'm telling you guys, never seen anything like this, but it does happen. And this is exactly why our car was driving so bad. So now we have to address the lights on this dash. There's so many of them. Check it out. So as I showed you before, we have the ABS, the brake, we have the steering wheel light on there, traction control, and we have a flashing wheel sensor light that's flashing. So we have all of these lights that stay on the dash, unfortunately. So we got to figure this out. Let's pop the hood. Now, as I talked about before, it could be something very simple like our battery terminals, or it can be something that will cost a little bit more, our ABS module. Now, our ABS module can be rebuilt. You have to send it out, unfortunately, and they can rebuild it if it's that. A brand new one is like $1,500, and I'd rather get it rebuilt for a cheaper price. So we're gonna start off by cleaning our battery terminals, because believe it or not, if this is bad, like these look, that can possibly be causing the code. It can also be this wire here on the battery. So you want to make sure that that's plugged in correctly. And what we're going to do here is we're going to disconnect these terminals and clean them. And you can see that they're all cruddy. So they might just be, I'm hoping that it's just that. Look how bad that looks. This thing is really, really bad. The battery itself is pretty dirty. It looks like an older battery. These cars are known to set off that code if it has low battery voltage, or if the terminals are bad, if the battery is bad, that can happen as well. So we want to start with the easiest thing before we try the hardest thing, you know? Let's take off this negative terminal. So trying to do the battery, I think, was a great idea before we try to spend more money on things that we don't have to. So trying out the battery definitely makes a difference. There's a lot of battery acid, as you can see, on the terminals. So if the connection isn't connected correctly, you're gonna have a problem. Now, I did use this little special tool. It's like a battery terminal cleaner. You can get it on Amazon, super cheap, and it really just cleans it off and makes them just perfect. It cleans up all that battery acid. Let's see if this ends up working for me. Okay, let's give this thing a start and see if that cleared the codes. In a perfect world, this would clear the codes, but let's see what happens. Unfortunately, that did not clear the code. I wanted to scan the car and check out the battery voltage. As you can see, our voltage is 14.31, so that's good with the car running. You can see all of our lights that came up. We have the anti-lock brake system, pressure sensor, low tire pressure. We have a bunch of stuff that came up, so I'm going to clear those out and see if the codes go away. All right, so we cleared that out and they are still there. If we dive a little deeper into this code, you can see that it says acceleration sensor inside a module control unit, internal circuit malfunction. So this looks like it's coming from inside the module. We have a pressure sensor circuit malfunction, and we have a low tire air pressure. So we just probably got low tire air pressure. So based off everything I've done for the car, I decided to change out the ABS module. I'm assuming that this is the problem. Now, I did have to remove the module out the car. I did try to take it out from the back. In the back, there's a black piece. That's the piece that we're gonna send out to get rebuilt. And we had to remove all of the brake lines and also the brake lines that go to the brake fluid as well. So I removed that, and here's what we got. Now you can see we had to remove the module from the bracket. Pretty straightforward. We just took those out. Now that the module is removed, we have 4 bolts. Now, some people take out these 4 bolts here and separate the module without even taking out the brake line. I couldn't do that because one of the screws on the module was stripped. Now you can see I took a piece of tape, put it over the screw, and it was a lot easier to get the screw removing the whole module. Now you can see this is the back of the cylinder, and then that other part is the part that we're gonna send out in the mail.
2 weeks later.
We finally received the module back, so we're gonna take this apart and reinstall it. So installing the module back in the car was pretty straightforward. Just like we took it out, we had to add those brake lines. But the difference here is we had to bleed the brakes. So I had to get somebody to go in the car, pump the brakes while I tighten and loosen up the brake lines. I let the fluid drain out and I tighten it up, make them hold onto the brake, and then I tighten it up. So that pretty much bled the brakes from the top. We didn't have to do it from the bottom. Okay, so we have our scanner here. We're gonna have to clear the codes for the brake system. You can see our fault codes are still there. I'm gonna go ahead and waiting for it to load up so I can clear them. Then we're gonna start the car and hopefully it works out. All right, clearing the codes. You can see there are no fault codes now. All right, the only code left is the tire pressure sensor. It's just saying that there's a low tire pressure. That's all it is. So I probably gotta put air in one of these tires. So we're gonna start it up and hopefully this works out. Start it up. And there we have it, guys. Everything's clear. You can see we just have our tire pressure sensor. We obviously have to put some air in these tires because it's been sitting, but you can see all of the dash lights are clear and we solved the problem, guys. That makes me happy. Looking good, looking good. So I guess we both know now that if you come across a Honda Accord between 2013 and 2017 and all of the lights are on the dash, this could possibly be your problem. Go over everything that I checked, and if not, send out the module. We got that fixed and we're good to go. Let's get started on this bodywork and this paint. Okay guys, so it's finally paint time. So what we did is we picked up a new fender. We got a brand new aftermarket one here. We also picked up a new bumper. This one's all chipped out. You can see that was like old Bondo, so no need to try to save this. And there's our brand new bumper. Now, as for our fenders, some would say, why wouldn't you try to save this? You can see it's just a dent. I could have pulled it out. But the issue is this big crease right here. I could have tapped it out and tried to straighten it out and fix it, but it was just better to buy a new fender because I do want to sell this car for a premium. So I went ahead and just bought all new parts. Now, as for this cracked spoiler, I did pick up a brand new one that's all blacked out and primed and ready to paint. But what I'm thinking, instead of painting it, I'm actually thinking about leaving it all blacked out because I think that looks kind of cool with the car. It makes it look kind of sporty. I can't seem to figure out what I want to do, but the blacked out spoiler makes the car look different and gives it a cool look. I don't know, guys. I got to figure this out in the next few minutes if I want to keep it all black or I want to keep it silver. Drop a comment below and let me know what I should have done or did I do the right thing, whatever I decide within the next few minutes. Okay, so the first thing we had to do was basically scuff up our new parts. We're using a Scotch-Brite pad, which is kind of like sandpaper. We're doing it by hand. We want to go light because this thing already comes pre-primed already. You don't want to scrape off the primer. So you can see I'm just hitting it. Hitting it with this is like almost hitting it with like a 400 grit sandpaper. And that's pretty much what I did here. Now, as for our spoiler, I decided to paint it, guys. Let me know if I did something wrong by painting it, but it came out great. Now I figured if I paint this, it would be better because it'll attract a different type of customer. I feel like the black spoiler makes it more sporty and it attracts a younger crowd. I'm just trying to attract everybody, anybody who wants the car. So I decided to paint it. Let me know if I did the right thing. So what we did was we washed off our parts because that old primer would be on there, and we just pretty much got everything nice and dry before we started our paint. So after everything was nice and dry, we went ahead and added an adhesion promoter to each of the parts because we want that paint to stick correctly. If you don't add this on there, you could have a problem with the paint cracking or just peeling. So now it was time to mix the paint. Between the paint and the clear, I spent $100, guys. Starting off on our bumper, we did get good coverage with this paint. I really like the way this paint was laying down. Now we stood away from the bumper about like 5 to 6 inches and giving it a nice pass, and we're just staying robotic, guys. We're keeping our arms straight and just following the grooves. Now I did paint that spoiler. It was a little hard because as I was pressing the air, it felt like it was about to blow away, so I had to be real careful and stay away from it a lot more. As for our fender, same thing, lots of coverage. Love the way this paint laid down. Now, a lot of guys in my comments have been telling me to make sure that I prime the fenders and the bumpers before I paint them, and it's true. I noticed after I paint this that the paint was a hint off from the original factory color, and a lot of professional paint guys have been telling me in my comments, hey, you need to make sure that you prime it with a light gray primer before you do it. Now I did not do that on this, so that slightly off, it's just a hint. You can't tell, but if you know, you know, but it doesn't look bad at all. You guys are gonna see when everything is finished. But we went ahead, hit up to make sure everything was covered, and we started with our clear coat right here and got right to work, guys. Now laying down that clear is always satisfying, guys. This is gonna give you the true results, and you know, you're really gonna see how it's really gonna look. You know, laying down the paint is cool, but the clear coat definitely takes a little bit more technique, and you gotta be a little bit more careful because you gotta go slower. You don't want any drips. So this is always the magic, and seeing how the clear coat is gonna lay down is like super satisfying. You know, once you get the opportunity to lay it down correctly, it just feels so good. So I went ahead and threw 2 coats of clear and just made sure that, you know, I laid it down correctly. Really took my time on this one. And the parts came out absolutely beautiful, super nice, look like glass. I don't know if you can tell from the film, but you can see that nice shine on there. Didn't have to buff it out or anything like that. And a lot of people do ask, you know, how don't you get like bugs or anything like that on there? It's because I do it at a certain time of the day. You either do it really early in the morning or right before the night. Most of the time, the bugs aren't out at that time to stick to the paint. Remove the old bumper, and we had to do something about this broken light. Now, I did upgrade the lights to LED lights because it was just cheaper to buy the LED lights instead of buying original light. Was just like too much money. So I ended up buying 2 LED lights. Now they did take these special plugs that connected from the original connector and basically I guess converted it to LED so it can work with the LED. And this is how they look. Came out really good, gives the car another feel, another look to it. I think they look really good. Now we went ahead and removed that old spoiler, cleaned off the area, and put the new one in. So now it's time to put on that fender. Now I didn't want to remove the whole front bumper. So what I did was take one part of the bumper off and remove the bolts that hold the headlight bracket in there, and also remove the bolts on the side where the door was at and on the top. And I was able to remove the fender without taking off the whole front bumper. I kind of like slid it out of the groove and we were able to remove that fender. The next thing here to do was to remove that old bumper bracket from the old fender and put it on the new one, and we were good to go. Now looking at the fender and the door, you can see that it's slightly off. Like I said, the paint is just a hint off. If you know, you know, but you really can't tell. I think the camera actually makes it look a little worse. So we went ahead and tackled that keyhole. I bought this little piece for like $7. And look at it, it looks original. Took off the sticky stuff that was on the door from the tape, and then we started to take the old bumper and put that on. We had to remove the molding that was on the bottom of it, and we just slapped that right on. Now, as for this little dent that was here, I went and got my cold glue puller and I pulled at it a little bit. I don't feel like it came out perfect. It's just a little blemish that we're gonna have to deal with on the car. Now, the rest of that bumper did pop right back in. Remember, that side was popping out a little bit. Once we fixed the fender on the other side and we did that, we were good to go. Now, I did do the detail here. The car was super clean. You can see the carpets, just the rubber mats in the seats. So I went ahead and used my wet vac on the seats. The car had like a little weird smell to it. So once I wet vac the seats and used my carpet buster on the seats, that thing cleared right up and smelled super good. And we just detailed the inside, used a degreaser on the dash. It just made it nice and clean, but thankfully this car was not bad inside at all. Just a quick clean and we were good to go. So let's go ahead and see the total numbers on this car. Now, everything into this car was $3,992. That's total, that's everything we have in it. And in my area, these cars go for about $7,500, guys. And so a grand total profit for this car is $3,508, guys. I don't think that's bad at all from the little bit of work that we did. I don't think it was that hard. A little bit of trying to figure it out is what took most of the time for me, just trying to get it together and just figure out what exactly was going on. But flipping cars is like a puzzle, guys. And if you guys want to learn more about flipping cars, check out my website, flippingcarsforfun.com. And I have a step-by-step program that's going to show you exactly what you need to do to make it to the top, and to get good at, and how to pick the right cars, because it's all about picking the right cars. And I take you into the mindset to show you how I do it. I will talk to you guys soon. Check out the next video that's going to pop up on the screen if you guys enjoyed this one. Talk to you soon. Jay here, flippingcarsforfun.com.